Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our March 15th, 2022 meeting of the Architectural Review Board. First, if you would, bear with me. First, if you would, just let's see who we have present tonight. And please identify yourselves and which application you're here on. I see Alex.
Rosenzweig, Austin Patterson Distant Architects, representing 282 Dune Road. It's nice to see everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Jim Hume here for Grassmere, 7 Beach Lane. With me tonight is Corey Gluckstall, who's one of the principals. Let's see, Alex Badalamenti and Frank Del Villar, who are architects on the project.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet everyone.
Okay, I'm not seeing them. I don't know if the rest of the board, does the rest of the board see everybody?
Yeah, for 213 Dune Road.
Yeah, I see him.
Now, Corey, you're the architect?
No,
Corey is one of
I'm the general.
principals.
I'm the general partner and one of the owners of 7 Beach Lane, formerly Grassmere. The architects on my project are Alex Badalamenti and Frank Del Villar of BLD Architecture, and they're both here as well. And Jim is our esteemed land use attorney and colleague at this point. We've been at this for maybe 18 months, 20 months. You know, we've been working on this together for a while now.
Okay, Corey, is your name C-O-R-I-Y?
Corey.
E-Y, and the last name, I'm sorry.
Gluckstall, G-L-U-C-K-S-T-A-L.
G-L, I'm sorry, G-L-U-C-K.
Correct. S-T-A-L.
Okay. Alex, I have, and Frank?
Frank is there. Yep. Frank Del Villar, D-E-L-V-I-L-L-A-R.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And who else do we have that hasn't spoken up yet? I don't have everybody on my screen, so I'm working in a handicap.
I think there's two, Frank DeViller and Michael. Have you got them, Craig?
No, not yet. All right, why don't we see if we can move along here. We have a full board here tonight, and just to remind everybody, we need 3 votes to approve or disapprove any application. And if you would, please mute yourselves until we're hearing your application so we don't get any background noise. In addition to our regular ARB agenda tonight, we have a referral to the planning board. I'm sorry, a referral to the ARB from the planning board. And if we could, before we hear that, do we have anybody here on 213 Dune Road LLC?
Yes, Mike Nobiletti here for 213 Dune Road.
Okay, Mike, hi, I don't see you, but the board had asked for a landscaping plan, and we did receive the landscaping plan on March 3rd, and this was held over from the March 1st meeting. Does the board have any questions on the landscaping plan?
No.
No.
Anybody? Okay, if not, can we get a motion to approve the landscaping plan?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Mr. Nobiletti.
Is this plan, is the process finished where approved at this point?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you, board members.
Good luck.
Somebody had a question? No?
Hi, this is Paulina Gianpietro, and I have Barry Lenson as well. We're from Beechwood, and we were around a few weeks ago doing an ARB application with you, and wanted us to come back with a landscape plan. So
Okay.
with a fence.
Okay, we can acknowledge that you're here.
Okay.
Thanks. All right, so let's hear about the referral we have from the planning board. This is WHBH Real Estate LLC, 7 Beach Lane. as provided for in chapter 5-14 A and B. The planning board requests that the attached application be reviewed by the Architectural Review Board and an advisory report be returned to the planning board. This is for the proposed construction where the applicant seeks a site plan approval to relocate and construct additions to a 3-story hotel in 16 units with associated improvements, including a swimming pool with a patio, a pergola, an outdoor seating area. It's upon a 1-acre parcel located in the HC zoning district. Mr. Hume, are you going to start?
Yes, good evening all. Good to see you. Looking forward to seeing you all in person the next time around. But this is we'll continue to work through this wonderful way of communicating. As Chairman Menezes indicated, we're here tonight and a referral from the planning board to renovate the property at 7 Beach Lane. There is existing there now 2 structures, one of which we're removing in entirety, and the other of which we're making some additions and major renovations to end up with a 16 unit hotel, including the amenities that the chairman indicated, and then a dining room and bar area for use by the hotel patrons. In anticipation of, we've been with the planning board, as Mr. Gluckstall indicated, for many, many months. We've been to the zoning board and we got all the variances that were required of us to make this project work. And at the last planning board hearing, we had little or nothing left to do with them. So they referred it to you guys for your advisory report. In support of the application, we submitted a couple of things. We submitted an architectural review board checklist, which covers the materials of construction. We submitted a multi-page document that gave an overview, an architectural overview of the project as a whole. We submitted a landscaping plan, and we submitted examples of some of the fencing material that is proposed to be used on the subject premises. That's all in front of you, I believe, or most of it is. And I'm not sure how you want to proceed from this point, other than perhaps some questions or.
Okay, if we can have someone, if you want to have the architect run through the project and describe the project for us.
Sure. I guess that would fall to Alex.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Good evening, board. Very nice to meet everybody. Can I share my screen?
Sure, Alex, sure.
Thank you. Okay, I assume everyone can, let me see if I can minimize this and get this out of the way. Okay, everyone can see this screen?
Yes. Yes.
And you can hear me fine?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks so much. So I'm going to start a little bit out of the order we sent you, but I'm going to start with the site plan just to give you context. So 7 Beach Lane, the orientation is slightly north. Main Street's to the north. This is the 1-acre parcel that was described. There is an existing 2-story building, which is largely falling apart over here. And the existing Grasmere Hotel is generally in this location right here. We are transferring our net zoning area from the one building to the other building. So we have almost a net zero increase in square footage. Actually, our lot coverage is slightly smaller, but we're adding bulk to the 2nd and 3rd floor up above. As Jim mentioned, we are proposing a new pool with a surrounding deck. We have a new service drive. We have a whole new entrance from the south side of the lot. And I'm going to run through some of the rendering. So this is basically the footprint. We have visitor parking on the south side. We have a full perimeter hedge of green giants around 3 sides of the property. That's been negotiated and worked out with all the surrounding neighbors. So that gives us privacy within our lot. Here is a photograph of the existing Grasmere. Our objective is to renovate the existing structure very much in kind with its original architecture. It is Second Empire French design from probably early 20th century, late 19th century. We are replacing the solid wood panels with an open railing. We are restoring the upper roof. We're replacing it with cedar. We will be replacing all of the exterior clapboard with new clapboard, most likely hardy plank. All of the windows will be replaced. We have a very elegant black liner on the windows within the white frames. And here you can see part of the hedge on one side, but we'll get to some more renderings. These are just some precedent renderings we pulled of that era, which is sort of an American version of it, but I think we're very much in character with the street and with the building. When you come to the side of the building, we're now looking at the south side of the building. So here is the renovated front portion. We turn the corner, keeping the original building intact with its roof. And then we make a very clear distinction between new and old. So very much like Topping Rose or some other precedents, we're clearly delineating where the new work is compared to the original existing work. We're taking the front porch, wrapping it around with a pergola coming around the south side. And this is what's there now. The original 1890s, 1900 building is here. In the 50s, these additions were placed on. So our proposal is to remove those additions and replace with new. The materials do change also. We keep them sympathetic in that we have cedar up above in a lattice work. We have glass railings just so that we can see the lattice. And then down below, we have vertical whitewashed cedar boards on the new additions. So it's sort of a new play on the old so that they're in harmony. We do have some outdoor seating, some landscaping, on this south side here. Here's a view just coming back a little further to the southwest. Here's the pool area. Here's the back. We have rear trellises out back just to give screening. These are balconies to the existing units or the proposed units. As Jim, I think, mentioned, we have 16 hotel units in the building. The existing Grasmere has, I believe, 22. So we're actually reducing the count of number of units. And this is currently the view from the back, which is not very appealing. Interior wise, I'll run through these quickly, but it's a full renovation. We're keeping aspects of the original, but also same kind of idea. We're bringing in the same materials, white and wood, to sort of soften it. We have a new fireplace coming in. This is a new little bar sort of seating area at the main entrance. Here coming in back, you're looking from a different angle, but inside the plan view. So it's a very upscale sort of aesthetic that Corey's after for this boutique hotel. These are some of the bedrooms. This is the existing that's there now, a little dated, a much more modernized version of the interiors. These are the penthouse units up above that overlook those back terraces beyond. So these are the terraces here off the back of the building. Floor plan wise, here's 7 Beach. Beach Street is to the east here. We're maintaining the existing porch, interior gut renovation. Here is that sort of dividing line between new and old. Here's the new replacement and expansion to the south. And then here is the pergola running along the south side that I mentioned before. Going up to the second floor, it's a series of small bedrooms and a couple of suites, and then up to the upper level, which is what we're calling the penthouse unit. and then and a couple of bedrooms that are tucked in the attic sort of space of the existing building up above. Here are just some straight on elevations without color. We are maintaining the height of the existing Grassmere, which is about 28 feet. To the south, we're pretty close to holding that line at 28. We might be 29. And then this is just a screen wall of that same sort of cedar terrace to enclose any of the HVAC units on the top. And that's just the elevator penthouse, which is sort of in the background. Here is the south elevation. Here is the north elevation for the building. As far as materials, we pulled together a palette of what we're using. Here are the wall treatments. Here is the vertical cedar, which we're going to be staining that sort of whitish color that we're showing here. The trellises will be probably, the rear trellises are going to be in the same wood cedar with maybe a metal frame. The front of the building, the shingles at the mansard, we're going to maintain the white clapboard that's there now, other than replacing it with new, but all of the detailing for the windows will be authentic. Other than, as I mentioned, we have this black infill frame to sort of give just a hint of what's behind, a little more modern approach to those windows, but we maintain the white surrounds for its contextualism. You had asked for some surrounding photographs. This is the building across the street. This is the neighbor to the north. This is, I believe, to the northeast, and this is to the southwest. So it's all has this sort of 20th century colonial vernacular to it, which we'll be in keeping with. This was the landscape plan submitted. Here is the arborvitae hedge that surrounds the entire property. There is a fence behind it, which we can show some photos of. Yep.
Alex, can I just interrupt you? For
Yeah,
1
sorry,
second?
I'm on a roll. Yeah.
You are on a roll. Good. Just for the sake of, let's stay with the building for a second.
Sure.
You ran through a lot of the different materials.
Yeah.
The board is mostly concerned with the exterior of the building.
Sure.
So if you would, just to make it a little bit easier, if you could start with the roof and work your way down. I know earlier you mentioned hardy plank.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about the siding. You mentioned shingles. I don't know if that's wood shingles. So if you could start with the roof, talk about the roof material and color.
Got it. So the main roof of the Grassmere, which faces beach, and that's this view, that'll be natural cedar. So sometimes these roofs were done in slate. Sometimes they were done in shingle. We like the shingle as opposed to the slate. We believe it's much softer and more appropriate to the period. And then it carries over to the materials we're using on the new expansion.
Now,
This
just
yep.
back up. Sorry to
Yep.
interrupt.
Nope.
We're talking about the roof,
Yep.
okay? And you said some have been natural shingle,
Yep.
some have been slate, and you're doing asphalt?
No. We're doing cedar.
Oh, okay,
This is natural cedar. Yeah.
okay.
And the idea is over time, it will patina to a
I understand.
soft gray.
I understand.
Okay.
And then now moving down to the siding up on that upper level.
Right. So this existing siding that's here, we are matching some of the detailing that's here with the fish scales. And then where there is clapboard, we are replacing the clapboard with hardy plank. So
Where you're matching the fish scales, what's the material?
the fish scales are typically in cedar and they're painted. If we can get them in the hardy, we will. I just don't know if that product's available.
But it will be white, correct?
It will be white. Yeah, the whole point of it that it's white. The benefit of the hardy plank is just maintenance, and it maintains that white color, whereas the shingles obviously would have to be painted over time. So, but aesthetically, I think it will look authentic.
Okay. So you're saying you're gonna try and match the fish scales in a cedar
Correct.
and check to see if Hardy makes,
That's correct.
okay,
That is correct.
okay. The second floor,
Okay, that is the second floor in the front. If we go to the rear of the building, which is the new expansion, this is all vertical cedar that is whitewashed. And then we have cedar trim for all the trellises and the railing up above. So the third floor is cedar. Again, to pick up on the roof that we're doing in the front, it'll also patina over time. And then the vertical cedar is whitewashed to match the white of the grassy.
So Alex, the cedar is in the back.
That's correct.
So when you're coming down Beach Road, you see the white, the in-light, and then the back has the trellis and the cedar, et cetera, with the pool.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Okay. This is just coming around the building even more. So here's that white vertical whitewash cedar. Here's the back of the building facing west, which is all in cedar.
And then is the north side, what does the north side look like?
I don't think we rendered it, but it's exactly the same as the south side. We
So
haven't
you have-
drawn
you
an
have the white
elevation.
and then the cedar,
Yep.
so looking from Main Road that way, you sort of see this.
The finishes are the
exactly the
same
same.
on the north side, correct? The main differences would be any patios and screening would, there is less traffic on the north side of construction.
Yeah.
And any outdoor patios and screening and glass is not present on the north, but the siding and the finishes are all identical.
Right, I'm just asking because it's kind of fit in with the way the village looks. Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. I enjoy symmetry on all fronts and it is consistent throughout the project. I like balance and symmetry, particularly on the new build in the back. So.
Okay. Sorry, Craig.
okay.
And I don't know if there are any more questions, but I'm happy to jump around wherever you need.
All right, I'll let you continue. If the board has any questions, we can ask the questions right now on the building itself.
Nope.
No, I think you covered everything really well. Got it. That's good.
Okay. So did you want to go to the site plan, Alex?
I can go back to the site or the landscape plan. Let's go to the landscape plan, maybe.
Okay, we just received that this afternoon on the drawing, the landscaping and 2 photographs of some fencing.
Yeah, a question came up on the fence, so I can show you, I'll have to change images, but I can show you a couple of images. We have, to match the north and south, we have a white fence that runs around 90% of the perimeter. And it is encased, or it's screened with giant arborvitaes to give privacy to the neighbors and to give privacy to the inn. The small extensions to the east, here and here, those we would change those over to cedar so that as it greets the neighborhood, it's in the cedar as opposed to the white with the arborvitaes. There was some comment at site plan about visibility with incoming and outgoing traffic. So we're sort of lightening up the landscaping a little bit at the corners. There are some specimen trees that will be planted. I don't know that that has been selected yet, but the idea is to give a very naturalized look to Beach Lane, very much in keeping with what's there now. We had a lot of conversation with Kyle at planning, as far as our setbacks and where the parking was and all of those things. So the idea is that we are maintaining the context of Beach Lane, which is why the Grasmere is really being restored to its original sort of grandeur. There is bluestone paving surrounding the pool and the walking areas. And then
Sorry,
we have-
Alex.
Yep,
Sorry
I'm
to
sorry.
interrupt again.
Yep,
So if I'm hearing, the entire north property line
yes,
is to be a white fence except for where it comes closer to Beach Lane. And the
Correct.
entire south property line is a white fence again, where it meets up with Beach Lane. It's
Correct.
going to be cedar again. How
Correct.
far back from the street is that?
that's probably 10 feet, maybe. Well,
It's
these are
a little bit more.
more.
It's about 18 feet. It's about
Yeah.
I'm
17 or
sorry,
18.
is that cedar or white? I'm
That's
sorry.
cedar, it's cedar right here. So that's, as Corey mentioned, that's about 18 feet.
It's about 18 feet. And let me just add one thing. Mr. Sacrapanti, our friend and neighbor to the south, he has an existing pylon and landscaping, some stone. We have made an effort with him and also on our plan to blend and incorporate our design into what he already has. So that's what you're looking at, is a collaboration with our neighbor and also addressing any planning and certainly ARB requirements. But we felt that we kind of took what he had, which is beautiful and new, and blended it a little bit and continued with it. And that includes the plantings as well. And that's our intention on the north as well, is to maintain fluidity, fluid between both our neighbors.
Okay, so on the north property line and the south property line, you're talking about 18 feet?
That is the distance we measure with our landscape architect, correct?
How tall is the fence?
I think it's only 6 feet, right?
No, our planning requirement, Alex, I believe is 3 feet with the grass. So it's a
How
blend
tall is
of,
the fence?
right.
So the fence is 3 foot tall?
There's a fence of 6 feet and then we have grass that's 3 feet.
How tall is the fence is the question?
6 feet.
All the way to the road?
Yeah. Well, there's a hedge to the north that goes all the way to the property line. So at least to the property line. Not to the road. I think we're set back from the property line a little bit.
All right, let's, see if we can move on to the west property line. Then what do we have on the west property line?
It's the white fence and full arborvitae's for the entire length.
Okay, and what's around the pool?
The pool has a typical black, like estate style. Sorry.
Hard to say.
It is, right? Estate style fence around it just for security.
And how tall is that?
Those are usually only 3 or 4 feet, I believe. And that's running here. That's whatever New York State requires. I believe it's a minimum of 3. It might be 42 inches.
Yeah, 42.
48.
Usually
Yeah,
it's 4
28.
feet.
Yeah.
Usually it's 4 feet.
Whatever they require, that's what it is.
Okay, and up at the north side in the center there, you have a dumpster enclosure.
Correct.
Want to describe that? What do you have?
It's just a cedar lined box, and then the containers are inside. The doors are cedar, so it'll look like a little cedar shed.
When you say cedar, you're talking like a stockade fence?
Yes.
What do you,
Yes, probably very much like the vertical cedar we have on the building, would be my guess.
We may look to switch to a composite for durability. But the texture and look of the composite would match as much as possible the cedar fence that we have. Because again, as a trash enclosure, we would want durability and maintenance, considering what it's being used for, but it would be consistent with the rest of the fencing.
It'll be gated so you get it out, I imagine.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
those cedar
Yeah,
stockades fall apart.
Yeah, we don't want.
Right.
All right, so if you want to continue, Alex, with describing the site and the parking area.
Sure. So we have pea gravel to the south, and we have some, I think we have 19 spaces. I forget the number. But it's a pea gravel drive. We have a couple of handicap spots located here, adjacent to the building. And then we have a bluestone walkway coming to the front, and then the rest is lawn. It's all lawn and low plantings.
On the southwest portion of the parking, I'm seeing a box around, I don't know, about 6 parking spaces. What does that delineate?
So those spaces, I believe, are land banked. I think the conversation we had with the village planning was we would land bank them, and if the need became apparent, we would open them up. So it will be grass to begin with, and then parking if need be.
If you have, how many rooms do you have?
We have 16.
And how many, and so where's the staff gonna park?
Well, there's, not everybody is driving. I mean, maybe Corey, you want to talk to that?
I think our parking calculation included, if you look at the site plan, our parking calculation includes staff.
For the full 19 plus the 2, there's 21 spaces.
Correct. So
I believe, Jim Hume here, I believe
Yeah.
that the parking plan as presented meets the code. And the
correct.
planning board was satisfied with the various
calculated.
levels of parking that we were providing.
Okay, thank you. Lot of plantings.
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, you can see it in the
Quite a bit.
renderings.
Compared to what's there now.
Yeah, no, yeah, we can show you a Google image of what's there now, but I mean, you can see it here. There's quite a bit of landscaping.
Okay, I think we know what's there now. Is
Yeah,
there
we
anything
do.
else you want to share with us, Alex or
No,
Corey?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I don't think so. Just we've made great effort to to build something that will be important to West Hampton. We've been sensitive to the architectural and aesthetics of both the road and the community, and we think we've checked a lot of boxes when it comes to bringing something new and modern and contemporary, and still appreciating that front original building. I think our design team, including Alex, done a great job, and certainly everyone from the village up to this point has been great to get us to where we are, considering what the last 2 years have been. So I appreciate everyone's input and look forward to advancing this.
Okay, does the board have any other questions? I'll just turn it over to the board members.
I think it's brilliant, and I'm thrilled for West Hampton Beach.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you, Allegra.
Thank you.
I agree. Yeah, very nice job.
well, from what was there, what it's going to be, yes.
Proud of looking at that place. It's great.
He was quite a character.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you all
Thank you
very
all.
much. I appreciate your time.
Good luck.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, all.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Night, Jim. All right, just bear with me a moment. Okay, next we have the application for the Meadows at West Hampton Beach, 143 Beach Road. This is to construct a second-story addition for a primary suite with renovations throughout of a single-family dwelling, 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bath, over an unfinished basement with egress well. attached 1 1/2 car garage, a fireplace, roofed over entry porch, and an attached rear patio, and you're removing the deck.
Who's on for that?
I don't know.
Who's speaking on this application?
I just have a phone number that it's not letting me,
Unmute.
what?
Is that the 917, Karen?
Yeah, it's not letting me, put that to. They're muted.
Anybody here on 143 Beach Road?
Let's jump to 282 and then come back, maybe.
Okay, let's see if we can move on, Kerry.
All right.
All right, let's take 282 Dune Road LLC, 282 Dune Road. This is a 2-story.
It
single
looks like
family-
he's unmuted now. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Kerry, it's James Neeslos.
It's who?
James Neeslos, the owner of the property.
On 140?
143
143?
Beach. Yes,
Okay.
I wasn't told that we were going to make a presentation. I thought I was just listening in. I'm not sure of the protocol.
Okay, can we get the audio and the video going?
He's just on there by phone.
I'm just here on phone. I thought that the department, I didn't understand the way this works. No one gave me instructions.
All right. Are
Well,
you the
normally-
owner?
I apologize.
Normally, someone speaks to the project, usually an architect or something, or yourself, you speak to the project, you tell us what you're going to do. The various
All
things.
right, let me first get your name, if you would.
So I'm the owner of the property. My first name is James. My last name is Neisloss.
Neis.
LOSS.
Okay. You want to tell us about the project and what you're doing?
I wasn't prepared, but I certainly can try to walk you through it. It is a current house that exists at 143 Beach. We are essentially adding, I don't know the exact square, I don't have my paperwork in front of me. Hold on one second. Well, it's written on the application, the exact, I wasn't prepared to speak. I didn't realize I had to, but I'll try to.
All right, what I
walk you
think
through.
I'm gonna do then, if you don't mind, I'm gonna move on to 282 Dune Road, and then we'll come back to you so you can. get
Okay,
your
I'll
thoughts
grab the file in the other office and I'll be prepared at least to walk you through what based on the file.
Okay, and if you could get on a video and audio, this way we could see you and talk to you. In the meanwhile, 282 Dune Road LLC, 282 Dune Road. This is a 2-story, single-family dwelling, 5 bedrooms, 6 bath, 4 half baths. It's over a pile-supported crawl space with an attached 2-car garage, 3 fireplaces, an elevator, roofed over front and side entry porches, a partially roofed over rear deck with a balcony above, the swimming pool with an integral hot tub, sanitary system, driveway, and landscaping.
Wow, that sounds great. That's-
Okay,
Nice to see everybody. I've seen you all in person so many times over the years. This is my first time on a Zoom with you all, so I'm looking forward to getting back to in person, as this is the only one that in fact, I went to the building department this evening thinking that it was in person. So luckily I got back here in time. But I hope all is well. And yes, my name is Josh Rosenzweig, representing 282 Dune Road. And today, what we have for everybody is a proposal for a very nice, I think, shingle-style residence with some English cottage influence. And we're hoping that you'll all like it as much as we do and that it will complement the landscape of West Hampton Beach. If it's okay, Chairman, can I share my screen?
Sure.
Okay, I can, of course, as we filed multiple pages for both landscape plan, context of the neighborhood, I thought it might be good and prudent to start with some of the exterior renderings of the proposed residence, if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, and then what I can do is always go back to the exterior elevations, but I'm just going to zoom in and then scroll around a bit. This is the proposed rendering looking from the southwest entry to the residence. There are two entries, one to the southwest, one to the southeast. This building does front the waterfront to the North Bay and is facing south in this elevation. As you can see, it's very much a shingle style residence with natural materials. And where I was talking before about it having some English cottage influence is specifically over the front entry. If you can see where my mouse is hovering over it, with what we like to call upon Edwin Lutyens in some of his very nice English cottage style homes with the nice large glass units with the very thin divided lights. Just to touch a little bit on the materiality of what you're looking at here. And if it's okay, I'm just going to grab my little pen here because I can highlight over the screen. Actually, annotate is off, so I will not do that. What you're looking at for all of the color gray that you see in this rendering, this is all an Ashford Moss Benjamin color gray. Now there's multiple materials on the house, but the overall color that you see on all the trim, whether it be the raked fascias of the roof lines or the casings of the windows or the shutters, are very much going to be this nice deep tone of Ashford Moss from Benjamin Moore. Set against that coloration is a pressure treated red cedar shingle roof, which is noted on the plans and also on the Architectural Review Board checklist, which I think the board is very familiar with, how the pressure treated red cedar shingles age over time and silver out, which is very nice. What we're going for here on this project is a very naturalized look. So we're not adding any stains or bleaches to it. We're liking the very silver tones that we yield from that. The wall siding on the house is two-tiered. If you look towards the upper part of the building, you can see the shingles. Those are Alaskan yellow cedar shingles, which are going to weather silver. Once they're put up, as everybody may know, they'll be very yellow, but very quickly the sun does its job and it starts to turn into a nice gray silver, which is very predominant in a lot of the shingle style homes in West Hampton Beach. On the lower level area, and you can see that nice little tower element that bridges the garage wing to the main ring, there is a shiplap siding that is also built out of the yellow cedar as well. I did bring some materials for the group. I'm sure everybody is already familiar with what a red cedar pressure treated shingle looks like, but just in case, I do have some materials if anybody wants to see it. And this is what a nice silvered out yellow cedar shake looks like as well.
Okay.
I'm going to hold some of the other materials. Some of the elements that are in dark gray here, that Ashford Moss color, are going to be painted over AZAC materials. And also in some cases, your exterior windows and doors are all in aluminum clad material, which is going to be very sustainable for the environment. I'm just going to go back to my desk so I can show you some more elevations here.
Josh, before you continue, if you would, on your checklist, you have here red cedar for the roofing, red cedar, perfection shingles, and zinc coated copper.
Yes, that is for the zinc coated copper is for the flashing that you can see in the chimneys. So if everybody looks at the image that's zoomed in, you can see where the actual stone chimney meets the roof. You like to have some counter flashing so that your shingles have separation, so that all of the copper flashing on the building and any gutters would be that copper material.
Okay, so I didn't know that was meant to be the flashing. So
no, that's great. Thank you for asking. That's exactly right.
I'll let you continue.
Okay, let me go back to the desk here. This is a straight on front elevation. I'll zoom into it where you can see the two wings of the house sort of bifurcated by that nice tower element. And just in case anybody's wondering, this is a staircase that goes upstairs. It's a secondary staircase to the main stair. And this is where you get to see those sort of Lushan style windows that are cascading around the upper elevation, which gives it that nice English cottage influence.
Okay.
And let me just keep scrolling. Oh, here you get your first hints of what is the field stone that we're selecting for the house. I have two samples here in my hand. It is a veneered stone, but dimensionally made. And you can see there's some good variation in color to it, mostly on the beige side, but to have a naturalized feel, of course, as it is a field stone, there will be variance in it. But the renderings are very much reminiscent of what the overarching stone effect will look like in the house. And again, this is not just on the chimneys. It also happens on the skirt of the house. You can see it right here as it wraps around the base of the house. You'll see it more in the north elevations where the house is out of the ground. Of course, in West Hampton Beach, the grades are raised a little bit in the front for our sanitary. And as we don't like to bring a lot of fill into our areas, you'll see a lot more of the back of the house. Let me go ahead and scroll there. Here's a good shot. Okay, so now you're starting to see more elevation from the deck.
Josh,
and
can you go back to that other elevation again?
Sure.
On the first floor, you want to describe what's happening there on the first floor, on the right side of the structure, the siding?
Sure, yes, the siding that is on the right-hand side and left-hand side of the tower element, the tower is cedar shingles. That is a shiplap made out of yellow cedar.
Okay. All right, I didn't want to leave that elevation before you address that.
Absolutely, thank you. Let me go to the rear elevation. You can see some shingle style elements coming into play here from the eyebrow window over the central core of the house. You're now starting to see a little bit more of that stone wrap around the building, which is the skirt of the building. And all three chimneys, of course, have the same field stone look. The outside of this house is featured with the deck, which is Epa Decking, which I think the board is very familiar with.
Yeah.
Very dense wood that will not decay and will silver out over time. Our clients have no interest in preserving the original dark color of the Epa wood. We want it to go silver and it will be kept silver. So once again, it just falls into that natural palette of a washed out look for a shingle style home. You can see some of the balustrade on the second floor master bedroom where you've got a balcony. Once again, all of the trim work is painted to the same Ashford moss color. And one nice thing about the columns, we've got the traditional gun stock columns at the base of the house, a little bit more minimalism, less detail and ornateness on the house. Once again, a little bit of arts and crafts flair to the shingle style composition.
And also on the first floor, you have the horizontal planking again?
Yes, on the first floor that wraps there as well, you've got the, not horizontal, it is horizontal in its nature, but it is a shiplap siding, a very traditional look for a building. So we're not trying to juxtapose any modern elements into this building whatsoever. It's meant to just complement the shingle style look of the building.
Okay, and around the pool, the stone matches the chimney?
Yes, all of the field stone will come from the same lot and will all match and be placed accordingly. You'll also see the stone on the plinths of where the columns come down in between where we have a nice French lattice panel for access to the crawl space or to even the underside of the deck.
Okay.
Let me also just go to another shot here. One thing that's nice about the design of this house is that the garage doors are not facing Dune Road. They're not facing a direct elevation to the neighbor. While we do have a robust planting plan to hide and privatize this house from both the neighbors and Dune Road, it's nice that the garage is actually facing inward to the property and is not really in the view shed of anybody coming by. Although they are very nice carriage style doors with planks underneath, nice transom window lights, it's still interesting that they're not facing a public way in terms of Dune Road. So that should be, I think, has been a concern of the board in the past. And
Okay.
of course, the house does come with these 4 dogs. This is these are real Labradors that the client does own. So there are 4 of them. So they'll be enjoying the property. And my clients have owned this parcel for many, many years. They're looking to enjoy it for many years in the future. They also own the property to the west, so they shouldn't have any objections from their neighbors, which is themselves. So that's a good thing. And let's see here. Before I go
Okay.
anywhere else, does anybody have questions on the renderings?
Yeah, let me just turn this over to the board members if they have any questions on the structure itself. Anybody?
Now it looks lovely.
Thank you.
No.
No questions.
Okay, so then if we could talk about the landscaping plan, Josh?
Yes. Okay, so this landscaping plan, which is a little bit simplified from some that you may have seen in the past, we are working with our clients to pick and choose these plantings, is a series of evergreen trees, ornamental grasses, privet hedge. Everything is labeled on a key legend to the right, and we could go through it however you'd like. One thing to mention is that the driveways will all be a Clinton Point blue crushed gravel, which is a very common type of gravel. It's not quite crushed bluestone and it's not quite pea gravel. It's a mixture in between the two. So again, to pull up those beige and gray tones that you see in the chimney and through the silver of the house. And all of our fences are otherwise, which are wire mesh fences, are buried in between hedges. You can see one right here where we have access to the rear yard. Our proposed fence is wire mesh inside of 2 rows of privet. And then all of our actual gates are natural cedar with steel frame construction inside. So the gates themselves will also disappear and silver out over time, just like the cedar siding.
All right, so you have privet on both sides of the fence.
We do, and then as everybody is familiar with this property, because the parking lot to the east of this property is already improved currently with a very long line of evergreen trees. Those are going to remain throughout the demolition and construction of the process. And then we are only going to add more evergreens, deciduous, and ornamental grasses to the property. The goal in mind is to, once again, keep the entire property privatized and softened from Dune Road. And of course, to complement the waterway look, which is just as important as the Dune Road facade.
Okay, and I see this, you have the legend on the side. Is there any questions from the board on the landscaping?
Nope.
No, nope.
Okay, I think we're good. Unless there's any other questions from the board, I'll hear it now.
Nope.
Nope. I'm good.
You can unshare your screen, Josh.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, if there's no other questions from the board, can we get a motion to approve this application?
I have a motion.
Who was that?
Chris, you can make
I'll
the
make
motion, I'll second it.
You second.
I'll
I
second.
kept my mouth shut.
Okay, those in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you,
Good luck
Josh.
with the project.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's good to see you. Hope to see you soon in person next time.
Good
Okay,
luck.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
okay. Let's see if we could jump back to 143 Beach.
All right,
You
he's-
want to unmute yourself, James?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hear you
Got
now.
it.
My apologies for delaying you.
Okay,
In a
so,
quick moment, I did the best I could. I am the owner, but I am responsible for the development or the building of this house or the addition to this house. It's a proposed 2-story addition. It's an addition. Currently, the existing first floor is 2,220 square feet, and the second floor is 800 square feet. And we're proposing 1,005 square feet addition to the second floor, which is a total of 4,025 square feet. It's still within the building footprint, and it comprises 11.8% of the lot coverage.
Okay, we want to talk about the exterior materials, if you would.
Sure. We are going to take down what's there, which is now a vinyl siding, and we're going to be putting up hardy plank and board and batten. This is the hardy plank, and this is the board and batten, and it's white. With the roof is a pewter gray shingle roof, which is here, with touches of a metal standing seam roof, which is here and here over the garage. It's a very simple design, somewhat contemporary, but somewhat shingle style as well. And the exterior is being enlarged to encompass a very large bathroom and a master bedroom suite upstairs. The original house had the master bedroom downstairs. We're keeping that as a junior suite downstairs with a full master bedroom upstairs.
Okay, if we can go back to the roofing.
I'm sorry,
You're
can
saying
people
there's,
see this?
yes. You're saying you have two locations where you're proposing to put in a metal roof?
Right. This is one, I don't know if you can see it here. This dark black is really a gray. And this is another one here, which is a gray. And this is a slight bit over the garage.
I guess I don't have an issue over the garage, the other big section. I'll ask the other board members on that.
It's really not presented correctly the way it looks because it has no dimension on the plan. It's actually very attractive.
It's quite vertical according to the front elevation.
It's really
I don't
not how
think
it
it's gonna-
looks at all.
It's not gonna read like that. I think because it's hard to draw a roof pitch like that straight on. I don't think you're gonna read, it's not gonna read as strong as that.
No, it won't at all. And it will be the same, mostly the same color as the roof. It
Is it a
just
matte
gives it
finish?
a nice touch and a little contemporization.
Is it a matte finish?
I believe so, yes.
But it doesn't stand up like that, it's flatter, Chris.
I'm sorry?
I mean, the way it looks like it's stand, what is it?
No, it's
Well,
not.
it's-
The gentleman that spoke before, I assume you have an architectural background?
Oh, yeah, so, well, I'm looking at to figure out your roof pitch right now. Yeah, it's not gonna read as.
It's
as
not gonna
strong
look
as it
like
does on
this
the
at all,
drawing.
really. It's just that that's the way it looks when you have a flat.
It's an elevation.
And it's an elevation,
Yes,
so,
sir.
and you're standing on the ground, it's not gonna look like a big block of metal up there.
No,
It's
it won't
pretty
look like
subtle.
that at all.
I'm okay with that. It's definitely not gonna be like it's shown on this drawing.
Yeah, I don't know why it's shown that way.
Well, it's hard to show that in elevation when you just.
It's
when
an
you're drawing a
unusual
flat
angle to try to represent, correct?
And 2D in when it was not in, it's only two-dimensional, it's hard to show it.
Well, I'll put it back to the board. Is the board okay with the metal roof in the two locations?
Yes.
I am.
I am as well.
I have a
Okay.
problem.
All right, then let's talk about the site plan, the landscaping plan.
Okay, I have, unfortunately, again, I have only. This is the plan. We're adding a walkway here, doing extensive re-landscaping around the exterior of the house. There was a deck here that is going to be removed with a patio here, and then a walkway here with a what is this? A 512 square foot patio back here that surrounds the pool. And we did extensive landscaping already to shield the property from the neighbors and and to give the neighbors privacy as well as this potential homeowner with large screening trees all around the property.
Is this pool existing?
The pool is in the ground now, yes.
And it's existing to remain?
Well, it was put in by us, I guess, about 6 months ago.
I'm asking if it's existing and it's going to remain as it
Yes.
is?
It is existing currently and it will remain.
Okay. And the fencing?
There is fencing in place now. There's a chain link that goes all the way around. And then there's a fence with a gate here and the fence at the gate here as well.
And what will that fence be made, what will that gate be made out of?
I'm sorry, I had trouble hearing you.
What will that gate be made out of?
The gate is cedar.
Okay.
All right, any questions on the house or on the landscaping plan from the board?
No.
Nope.
Okay, can we get a motion to approve this application?
I'll make the motion.
We have a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Good luck with the project.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry for all the confusion.
All
Okay,
right, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
okay, we have 3 Fisk. This was a request for a landscaping plan. And we received a landscaping plan, just bear with me. I think there's a little confusion on what's been submitted. So who do we have here on
Up to the
3
fence
Fisk?
plan.
Hi, this is Barry Lenson. I'm here on 3 Fisk, and remotely with me is Paulina Giampetro. The
Okay.
last hearing, the board had asked for clarification as to the location of the fence that was going around the property and what material the fence was going to be made out of. We had overlooked that the plan submitted did include a fence location and did include a fence detail. We'd since changed the fence detail from a chain link to a deer fence surrounding the property. And those details are shown on the plan along with a picture of what we envision the deer fence, and I might have that term wrong, to look like.
So what you had submitted had one small notation about a fence, and it looks like it went from a 4-foot fence now to a 6-foot fence.
Yes, I believe that is correct. It was originally a chain link. Now it's a 6-foot deer fence. If you want me to share my screen, I can show you where it's located. And there's now California privet that's going around the perimeter on 3 sides to help screen that fence.
You said you're sharing the screen?
Yes.
Okay, when we first got this plan that wasn't highlighted, there was only one notation on the center. And now I see you have that highlighted.
Yes, sorry, hold on. I was trying to sorry.
What else are you trying to show us?
Sorry, hold on. I was can you see it?
Pauline, I think the chairman is asking if there's anything else that we need to show him.
No, that was it.
No, I don't believe so.
Nothing. There is nothing else that needed to be.
I just had a question. Is that a
Right.
6-foot fence in the front of the house? The deer fence?
It's
Oh,
a
I
6-foot
said-
deer fence in the front of the house that would be completely screened by privet.
On
The
the,
deer fence is 8 feet, and that's an 8-foot fence you guys are showing us right here.
Is that what that is? Yeah, I was trying to figure it out.
And I
what are you
just,
showing, what are you attempting to show us in that photograph? That photograph is not of this property or this house. So what are you attempting to show us in the photograph?
The photograph was just to show, in case anybody had a question, as to what we meant by a deer fence or the exact fence detail. So the photograph was just there to
So the photograph is showing 2 rows of
Oh.
fencing, which looks about 8 feet tall. And I don't believe that that qualifies for a pool enclosure, number one. Number two, the drawing that we have that is, I don't know, it's 285 Oneck Avenue, the landscape plan. I'm assuming that was meant to be for this project. And that wall seems to be like about a 3.5 or 4 foot wall on the Oneck side. Anybody?
As for the fence in the picture, I believe that's a 6-foot fence, and we did confirm with the building department that the 6-foot deer fence, along with the proper pool gates, would be permissible by code for a pool enclosure. With
All right,
respect to your
I know it
comment
has-
about,
I know it has to retain a certain amount of weight, so I'll leave that up to the building department. But the fence is going to be on the outside of the plantings. I'd like to see it on the inside of the plantings.
the fence will be screened with plantings. It will be on the inside of the plantings,
On the inside, on the house
on the
side.
inside.
Okay.
You will not see the fence from either Oneck or Fisk, or it will be screened with plantings.
yeah, so
And
it's
the
in
same
between the
with what,
plantings.
and the same with what borders up with lot number 4.
Yes,
So the fence is going to be on the inside, on the house side of the plantings,
yes.
not the way it's shown on the plan.
Can you bring up the plan, Paulina, or?
You talking to me?
No, I was asking Paulina to show the plan. But to answer your question, yes, it will be shown. The fence will be screened by plantings from the street.
So we gotta adjust these plans, correct, Craig?
Yeah, the fence has to be shown on the inside, on the house side of the plantings.
I thought it was shown on the house side. That's why I was asking to see it.
It looks like, that looks like it's on the outside.
It shows it on the outside, not the inside.
Right.
I guess what we don't want it to look like the picture that you provided, basically. With the fence, on the outside of the road with the hedges in it, so.
All right.
No,
so
we will agree to completely, to screen the fence with privet or with privet, so it's not visible from the street.
Okay, and over where the gate is, same thing?
Same thing.
Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do, if you would, is change the plan, submit it to Terry, indicating with the fencing on the inside, on the house side of the plantings. Unless there's any other questions from the board?
No,
There's no fence in the front, right?
There's one section of fence on the west side of the house with a gate.
Okay. Yeah, but
So
there's
yeah, the
nothing
fence
further
comes
on.
up this way and then it does come up on the east side as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the east side, it looks like the plantings are on the street side of the fence.
Mhm.
On the west side, it's shown on the fence is on the street side. So you're going to move that in on the front of the house on the west, south, and east property line. That
Yes.
okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so any other questions from the board? If you could take down your screenshot.
Sure.
Any questions from the board? Any comments? Do we all?
No, no further questions.
Okay, so how long will it take to get the revised drawing?
A couple of days,
Okay,
Monday, Tuesday, the latest, a week.
okay, so can we get a motion to have them change the drawing, and when they change the drawing, we'll have somebody come in, take a look at it and sign off on it as a committee of one?
I'll make the motion.
We get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All
Thank
in
you.
favor? Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
All right, anything else from the board?
Nope.
Nope.
We get a motion to adjourn?
I'll
I'll
make the
make that.
motion.
Thank you
Who made-
all.
Wait a
Thank
minute,
you.
who made the motion? I think
I'll make a
Mike,
motion.
Allegra did.
Allegra did.
and who seconded it?
I'll second it.
For a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank
Right.
you all. Have a good night.
Yep, you too.
Okay.
Good night.
See you next month.
In person.
Yep, in person.
Okay.